You can recognize these supposed non-players by the way they flaunt their moral qualities, their piety, their executed sense of justice. But since all of us hunger for power and almost all our actions are aimed at gaining it, the non-players are merely throwing dust in our eyes, distracting us from their power place with their air of moral superiority. If you observe them closely, you will see, in fact, that they are often the ones most skillful at indirect manipulation. Even if some of them, even if some of them practice it unconsciously, and they greatly resent any publicizing of the tactics they use every day. If the world is like a giant screaming court and we are trapped inside it, there is no use in trying to opt out of the game. That will only render you powerless, and powerlessness will make you miserable. Instead of struggling against the inevitable, instead of arguing and whining and feeling guilty, guilty, it is far better to excel at power. In fact, the better you are dealing with power, the better friend, lover, husband, wife, and person you become. By following the route of the perfect courtier, you learn to make others feel better about themselves, becoming a source of pleasure to them. They will grow dependent on your abilities and desire of your presence. By mastering the 48 laws in this book, you spare others the pain that comes from bungling with powers. By playing with fire without knowing its properties, if the game of power is inescapable, it's better to be an artist than a denier or a bungler. Learning the game of power requires a certain way of looking at the world, a shifting of the perspective. It takes effort and years of practice. For much of the game may not come naturally. Certain basic skills are required. And once you master this skill, you will be able to apply the laws of power more easily. The most important of these skills and powers' crucial foundation is the ability to master your emotions. An emotional response to a situation is the single greatest barrier to power. A mistake that will cost you a lot more than any temporary satisfaction you might gain by expressing your feelings. Emotions cloud reason, and if you cannot see the situation clearly, you cannot prepare for and respond to with any degree of control. Anger is the most destructive of emotional responses, for it clouds your vision to the most. It also a ripple effect that invariably makes situation less controllable and heightens your enemy's resolve. If you are trying to destroy an enemy who has hurt you, far better to keep him off guard by finding friendly lines than showing your anger.